Yes.
Yes.
Had that
Yes.
right in the-
This will
I
be
got a
here
message.
Yeah.
for posterity. Here comes
Oh,
Mary.
yeah, I see that library, Mr. James.
Well, the first topic
Whoa.
I liked it. Yeah, I know we all admire that. Would be would there be any webinar y'all would like to be more interested in? Where proof listening has been suggested, editing, maybe samples of people's editing, things like that. What would y'all
Hello,
like to?
Mary.
I'll be back in a
Hello.
minute. Okay.
So I did something kind of interesting the other day with my Zoom. I had somebody sign up for one of my, for a file on one of my BCs, and it was brand new. And he submitted it, and it sounded fantastic, but I wasn't the DPO, but it sounded great, except that there was just some volume issues and 2 errors, and it was a 42-minute long file. And he's like, well, I'm just going to re-record the whole thing. So I PM'd him and I said, look, before you do that, would you like for me to do a little Zoom session with you and show you how I would edit this? And he said, yeah. So we set up a time and we did a private little Zoom session and saved the file in about 5 minutes. And I just love that. I think that we could do more of that, little private, informal training sessions.
I had a one I was PLing, and newish, but not brand new reader, and could not get the opening and closing silences. They were just all over the place. And I'm talking to the BC, and he goes, I don't understand. This is not, rocket surgery here. So I did the same thing. Turns out the reader didn't understand how to change the zoom in Audacity. So she was looking at full. She was looking at the whole thing and trying to trim this little bit at the beginning.
Oh, my.
She didn't understand.
Yeah, you can
zooming in.
imagine trying to do it. Yeah. So I said, here, let's do this. And I'm just looking over her shoulder, and I said, just hit Control-2. And it was just like, the skies open to the angels started singing.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of little clicks and tricks in there that sometimes you just got to find out where they are.
Right.
And that they actually exist. And yeah, that saved a file, saved a reader, because she was getting very frustrated.
Right.
So yeah, Zoom is a wonderful tool.
Mhm. So one thing I'd be interested in seeing how other people use replay gain and the click removal tool, because I have a lot of clicks. I think in between every breath or before every breath, I go something in my mouth goes click. And so I have to go in and take every one of those out manually. And I would love to just, I've played with the click removal tool, like identify this is a click, go get them all, but it doesn't work. It doesn't get them.
Go ahead.
The click removal effect, I don't think is what we want as vocalists. I think that somehow does, like, I don't know, clicks in LP recordings and that kind of stuff, that kind of staticky click. If you can download the declicker effect, that add-on, it works really well.
Let me get my little notepad out here. Just write a few things down. Declicker, is that an Audacity effect?
It's a
When you
Audacity
wish
add-on.
Upon a star. Michelle,
Okay.
Teresa.
That could save
We've
me
got some
hours and
people here.
hours.
Okay. I'm going to go into chat and type a link to the Audacity forum that has that forum has a link to the declicker.
Good.
Okay, where would I find that
add-on?
Forum?
If you go to the chat right here in Zoom.
Right. I mean, is that a Librivox chat or is that an Audacity chat?
It's an Audacity chat. In the
Okay.
very
Looks
first
like-
post, it's got the
It looks like
information.
Librivox.
And
Click.
yeah, so what I do is, I personally, when I'm editing, I record the whole thing and then I listen through and cut out all the bad stuff.
Right. That's what I
So, do the, highlight the first spot I want to unclick my mouth. And I go to,
Right.
effect declicker, and it'll
Okay.
take that one out. And then as I keep going, I'll highlight the next one and just do, I'm a keyboard person. So
Yeah.
I'll do Control R,
Right.
and it'll do the next, it'll repeat the last effect I've used.
Yeah. Control R. That's what I got rid of
Yeah.
the control part. I just do R. You can do that too,
Oh, okay.
So,
So yeah, so unless, as long as you don't change your effect, you
Right.
can just keep going through and getting out those little ones.
so you still
sometimes-
have to do them individually.
I do, because unless you can go in and change the parameters, but I have found that sometimes if I do the whole thing, it'll lessen some of my K and T sounds of, and
yeah,
make those a little less
Yeah.
clicky when they're supposed to be. So,
Okay.
so I tend to do it individually, but you don't have
Okay.
to. You, like I said, you can change the parameters, and then, to narrow down your range of your frequency
clickies.
range.
Clickiness. I'm going to stop you for a second.
Yep.
I'd like to welcome Michelle and Lisa, and who's coming in? Oh, Web. Oh, good. To this.
We have 3 Michelles, all spelled with
know.
1 L.
Michele, Michele. Yes.
And Wib 66 is a Michelle with 1 L.
Yeah, she's a Michelle too. Yeah. Listen, well, thank you.
Username.
Well, this little Zoom thing is being recorded, okay, and it will be able to be watched. So I'm warning you. So let's keep it clean, okay? Let's not drift off into some really bad stuff. We were talking about editing, and before I had to leave, I asked a question of exactly what they were talking about. Would anybody be in favor of a webinar? I call it now, I'm learning the terminology, a webinar, meaning like a demonstration of editing. Michelle Fry would demonstrate maybe 15 minutes of how she would edit a track. Tricia may demonstrate, anybody, Bill, how do you edit, and just show the process you go through and pick up the like shortcuts. I don't use the Control R. That's a good point. I don't declick. Maybe I should.
I don't know.
Okay,
I
I
don't
have
think you
heard-
have a
I
lot of
have-
clicks.
What does a click sound like? I mean, how would you know if you heard it?
Click.
Like
Well, you
it-
can actually see it and hear it.
Sometimes, sometimes in some recordings, it almost sounds like somebody has a sticky mouth. This guy,
oh, that,
yeah, that's-
okay.
yeah.
like that. And it makes a visual dot on the 0 line. And you have to, Tricia, you said you go in and declick, but you have to actually you have to grab it first, right?
Yeah, I have to highlight that little bit.
You have to highlight it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not any different than doing a highlight
And cutting it
Z,
or deleting.
like it's the X key, in other words. You can go declick, or you can just use the ZX key.
Is the X the cut?
Delete, yeah, cut.
Okay. Yeah, that would change my timing, and I don't like to do that.
So
I
it
can
keeps
be
the same timing, it just gets rid of the click.
right. I can be a lot less precise on what I'm cutting out, or
That makes a point. That's
There
Yeah.
is another tool there, Michelle, and that is Control L, which
Mhm.
just erases but does not chop the time out. Keeps the time the same, but takes everything to 0 rather than cutting.
What does L mean?
would that put in just blank silence? So
Mhm.
That's
dead
correct,
silence
yeah.
though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which would be a problem if you have any background,
Mm-mm.
ambiance.
Mhm.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it would. You would. Those clicks are so short.
If,
that
yeah,
Yeah.
depending on how short you make the
you
sample,
wou- you
right?
wouldn't
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
hadn't thought about
Hello,
the
TJ.
timing part. It does change the timing. You're right.
Hello,
Hi.
DJ. Hey, welcome.
Hey.
Sorry, I had some trouble logging in, as you probably noticed. I was in and out.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Now,
Yeah,
w-
I'm glad
this
to
is
be
a bunch
here.
of, we're a bunch of old timers here. Most of us have been recording and editing and having a joyous old time on Librivox for many years. But newcomers, if there's any new one here with questions or comments or complaints, you feel free to raise your hand or just say, hey, I want to complain about the registration process, or I want to, this administrator is just
Hey,
a pain in
careful.
the ear. Okay. Okay,
No,
that's
we
all I
can't do
wanted to
that.
say.
Okay, so, but I wanted, before we get off on that, Tricia, I want to go on the same declicker thing. Now, you see, I gave that little run up to it and forgot what I wanted to say.
I
should've
interrupted
just
you. I'm
did that.
sorry.
Do you
No,
all
no,
want
you
me to
didn't.
demonstrate it a little bit, or?
Can you
No,
bring up your screen?
No, there's something else that I wanted to say about that. Oh, yeah, okay. I wanted to ask, I've been listening to Adrian Stevens's, tutorials. I
Mhm.
have not gotten around to do that until recently, and I'm on about the third one. And one of the things that he teaches, and I have seen this in the wiki, is that you should do a every time, or click, click or something, every time you make a mistake. And so that you can make a visual marker on your waveform so you can go and find the errors. And I'm so afraid everybody's going to be taught to do that. I wanted to put that on the table. Is that what everybody does?
No.
I don't.
Because
No.
I don't. I find that so distracting. It's like I have to, part of my brain has to be over here
No.
clicking, or my hand has to be over here running the clicker, or doing like this. Or
I tried it. It's too
I just
distracting.
talk.
No, I don't.
I just
don't.
talk. And if I make a word wrong, I usually do the 3 or 4 words before it. I just talk. And then, like you say, you don't need that. As you go through and listen, you can tell when you've made a mistake.
Mhm.
Or sometimes you say shit, or you say no, or you
Or-
say airplane overhead.
Or a nasty word.
Must
Granted-
admit, I do 3. I do.
You do.
It really comes out quite loud, so I can see exactly where it is. But I listen as well, so.
Yeah.
But I do
well,
find that helps me personally.
Michelle, you-
Granted, sometimes lately I've gotten bored when I edit my own stuff, and so I'll miss some edits, I'll miss a repeat. But then
Mhm.
I've proof listened to others' files who do and they miss that too. So
yeah, it's we have a consensus here. You took
I
you
just
asked
think
that
it's
question,
unnecessary.
how many people do that? But I was taught that when I first joined, and it doesn't work for me, but it looks like most experienced people don't do that. I just keep repeating it. Like I'll say the word, so I'll say it right, and it just keep on moving. I'll find it when I edit, or if I
Right.
don't, I proof listen it well.
The only
And
time I
then,
use it,
go ahead.
Say,
okay, the only time I use it is when I've read a phrase 4 or 5 times. I'll take a deep breath, give it and then read it correctly.
oh,
And
okay.
so as I'm editing, I can see up ahead there, a couple of inches that, there's a click. So anything between here and there is
It just
not
And,
even bother with
and
me
the
if
thing
that's
is,
bad.
curse words work just as well.
I don't know,
Say-
they don't turn red on the screen or anything.
Oh, but if you say them loud enough, they do make a mistake.
They go like that.
Goodness gracious.
but we
Ladies shouldn't be doing that.
we
For
shouldn't be
Pete's sake.
doing what?
Cursing? I
Ooh.
don't curse.
Lisa, your face is familiar, but I don't remember.
I
You
was
been
on
here?
last time in February. That was my first time
Okay.
joining one of these. It's my second time. I have recorded a portion of one chapter now. I haven't uploaded it yet. I'm going through and I've edited it like a couple of times now. So I keep going through it to see if I can catch more stuff. I guess I'm a little nervous because I'm afraid it's going to come back like, what is this? But I just wanted to say that I find the forum so helpful, and I found one part of the forum, and it was like, I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was basically around the lines of, why do I suck so bad, or something like that. And
Yeah.
because that's the way I was feeling after listening to other people. I'm like, oh my God, I suck compared to them. And but then I read it and I felt so much better. And so I just wanted to say as a comment that I think that the Librivox community is really a great community. And it just in the couple minutes I've been on this, I'm already learning things and how to, for editing and things like that. So it's just a really helpful community.
Oh,
I think as well, any of us would go back to, I mean, I joined 10 years ago, and when I listen to some of the earlier recordings, I think, oh my goodness, that's awful. So, it, you know, it does come with experience as well.
Oh no, we have a tremendous amount of experience, hard-earned experience, and I mean the hard way. Everybody in here that's recorded stuff has been hundreds of hours probably of learning, and we love to pass it on. I mean, and help people overcome the like thinking it's terrible, Lisa. It's probably not at all, but
No.
we have to make that step and upload it, and then let the proof listener say it's okay to me, and you say, wow, okay, maybe I can do this. Okay.
What does he listen to?
Okay, so I would like to know who in our group can help me. As everybody knows my sob story, I recorded 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with a little over the head mic. It sounds just like this, the whole thing. And now it is a good recording. It is almost error-free, and it gets plenty of good reviews. Okay. But it sounds horrible. And I don't want to re-record it, but I want somebody to listen to a file and tell me what Audacity things can I apply to make it, to improve the sound quality. And then I know that Phil is going to, because he's going to upload those new files for me.
You know,
And
you can
Tricia-
change
and
the
then-
pitch.
And then Tricia is going to just jump in and say it won't make any difference because all that stuff is already out there on YouTube and everything else. I know that, but I still want to change it. Probably, you know, if my great grandchild reads it and goes, "Golly, did she really sound like that?" No,
Well,
I
yeah,
really want to do that.
Okay, have you put it on asking for advice or help? You know, here
No, I
is
just wonder,
a sample. We have some
does anybody
really,
know?
we have, I
Michelle,
don't,
you can change the pitch on Audacity.
Yeah, I've tried everything. I've tried changing the pitch.
Okay.
I've tried changing the, it just is anything that I know that I can change. I try.
Yeah.
It's not that, it's that nasal quality. It just sounds terrible. And why I didn't hear it the whole time I was recording it, I don't know. I
You
guess
Well,
I
didn't know
thought
any
it was-
better.
that's my
No.
suggestion is to put a sample on need help. Because the audio engineers we have in our group are very
You're
knowledgeable.
good? I will
mean,
do that. I'm gonna
I
do
could
that.
use that advice too, because I'm putting together some dramatic readings where some people have really high quality microphones and other people have really like your original microphone, and some people sound like they're in a tunnel and they have an echo, and I could really, and I try to match the sounds together so it sounds like they're in the same room. And I could use some advice like that.
Yeah,
too,
when you're
how to
doing,
get-
you're doing a dramatic, you're editing a dramatic reading.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
what that
That's
is?
that's an interesting
Oh,
challenge to get
I don't know.
Well, I
ambient
have some.
sounds to be good.
I have some recordings like the one you're talking about, your old one, from new people who have a very simple microphone,
Mhm.
and some people sound like they're talking on an iPhone. So so putting it together with,
And they probably
with the-
are.
yeah, they
Yeah.
might be, and then putting it together with these really Adrian's high quality
Does it sound
microphone
like
and
this?
other people's studios, like Phil. It sounds like you're in a studio there. Putting that together, it doesn't sound like,
So
it sounds
you-
like somebody's in a tunnel talking to somebody else who's outside, who's talking to somebody else who's in a recording studio. So
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like they're in
That's one of
same
the
place.
perils of dramatic readings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I remember-
yes, it
Well,
is.
but it could possibly be overcome. Could possibly be.
There is some
I've
stuff
been
on the
working on
forum
it.
about, you know, that you can point people to about, you know, it's those hard surfaces in the rooms that give you some of that echo effect. And, you know, when I started out, I was just in a bedroom and I hung a blanket over the door. You know, now I've actually set up my son moved out, so I actually got my office back and I did a little bit of soundproofing, put a carpet in and you know, behind the green screen there's actually some acoustic blankets, which give me a very dry sound, got rid of the echo. And there are some suggestions that you can pass along. Once you've got the files in and they've passed PL because they're, you know, spoken correctly anyway. Yep, I see what Phil's doing here.
I'm just getting rid of my background.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So those sort of, again, mine, I've got a green screen up, but behind the green screen, and when I'm normally recording, the green screen isn't there. It's a sound absorbing blanket, and it gives me a very dead sound. So
That would be good.
yeah. And then, of course, a good microphone. I went out, bought a good microphone, and my first 3 recordings, I'm going, it just doesn't sound like what I paid for, and then realized that my computer had decided to use the microphone on my webcam instead of.
I've had that
yeah,
before.
So-
Whole chapters.
How I found it was I came down to do some editing. This is a condenser, so it needs the mixer turned on. Didn't turn the mixer on, and I'm recording away, and I'm going, wait, there's nothing lighting up here, but it's recording it, and that's when I found out it was the webcam. So I had a lot of that as well on my first several recordings. But those
So,
are things
but if you look at your Audacity waveform, I mean, the whole, what do we call it? The screen that it puts up there, it tells you what microphone you're using, doesn't it?
If you look,
If you look.
Yeah.
I've recorded long and not realizing nothing's going in there at all because it's the wrong mic. But yeah, you're right.
So,
You
I
have to
mean,
look.
I never
I took-
record until I've
yeah.
checked the audio and
Well, Audacity makes
microphone
you
and
reset it up every time you re-plug in your microphone.
Almost.
I do.
Yeah.
So if I switch
Um,
my microphone from one computer to the other, and then I have to reset up Audacity every single time.
I was once told that you have to put in the microphone you want to use and then
Yeah.
open Audacity.
That's
You
what-
do.
Not the
you
other
do.
way
And
around.
Audacity won't.
That's right.
Your Audacity
That
won't
has
see it if
changed.
you don't. Oh, it has.
That
Oh,
has
really?
changed.
I
Um,
didn't know that.
If you go, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share
Yeah, go
just
ahead.
Audacity.
Everybody can share their screen. Everybody loves somebody.
Okay, do you see my Audacity?
I can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I took that, microphone, listing off of my toolbars, so I don't see what microphone I'm using. But you can go to transport,
Yep.
rescan audio devices,
Right.
and that will pick up any microphones that you've plugged in since you started Audacity.
Oh, so it's they fixed that. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So yeah,
Okay.
you do that, and then you can go, Shift I, and find your microphone. So.
That's good. I was thinking of writing to Audacity and telling them they should do something like that, because that really
they can- they can
probably a
do
lot
that.
of people
Thank you,
did
Tricia.
write to them. So
I'd like to get back to TJ's problem, which is if she already got the recordings by all these people and she has to edit them together, how do you edit someone with a huge, mic and someone with a little?
There's only so much you can do. I mean,
I did.
Mm.
the
Yeah, I did
Admirable
a lot of
Crichton,
work.
some of the ones that I've done, there are some people with really cruddy mics, and it's like, oh, I'm glad they're and then, I'll
Wait
start
a
at
minute,
about,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You start at
Oh.
what?
I started about 5,000 hertz frequency with the roll off of 12. And then I'll sample that and see how that works. If it doesn't work, I'll, maybe, change the frequency a little higher, a little lower, however that would work.
One of
Right,
the
so
other
that's a-
things in the link that you sent about the de-clicker, the same author created a DS tool, a de-esser tool.
Yeah,
That's pretty effective.
yeah.
I
I've
would
tried
love-
it.
Those, the
yeah.
D-clicker and the D. Oh, you've tried it?
Okay.
What?
I would love
Did
for
it work?
somebody to present that. How to use the de-esser and the de-clicker.
I've got a question for TJ. On
Yeah.
on the dramatic readings, do you just take it on yourself to make any corrections, or do you actually go back to the people that are doing the readings and say, your S's are a little too sharp? I mean, do you do all that yourself? Because I know when
I've only
it seems
done
like-
one entire dramatic reading so far, and it took 2 years. So I probably in the future will go back to them more often. This first one, I did it all myself.
yeah, that
because a
sounds
lot
like
of
a
the
lot
people-
of work.
Yeah, a lot of people were new though, and they didn't know how to do it. And at the beginning, I started telling everybody, giving them links to the YouTube and how to improve their own, but it ended up not working. They were just beginners, so I ended up do most of it myself. And I probably will do less of it myself in my future ones because it just takes too long.
Yeah.
However, I like to, I'm a perfectionist, so I think I can do it better than the beginners, so I go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Experience.
Yeah, but the thing is, you also want them to know if they're not doing it correctly. You know, they may not be perfect, but you know, if the person doesn't know that, you know, their S's are too sounding or whatever, if you don't tell them directly,
I
then
actually
they won't
did.
know.
I did tell people about that and
okay.
let them try it themselves first. At the beginning of the project, I did that to everybody. I gave them suggestions and links, and so as the project went along, I ended up doing more. But at the beginning, I did that. You're right. Everybody should learn how to do it, and if I don't say it, they won't know. But also people have different standards, and my standards of what a S that's sharp, and I was listening to a lot of these dramatic readings before I started doing them, and it really annoyed me when those S's were sting,
Really?
especially if one,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, really,
My S's aren't like, my S's are like a bird chirping. It's such a high pitch, it hurts your ears. So I have
Well,
to
yeah.
really lower that. It's like a little, I call it a candle, like a candle flame. You can see it.
Mhm.
It
Oh,
goes up
yeah.
like a candle flame. And I have to grab that and lower it in until it doesn't make that sharp. I can't do it when I'm talking. It just happens when I'm recording.
How do you lower that down? Like what do you use in Audacity to make that lower?
I
I
manually
go,
lower the volume.
I just go, I go amplify -2. So I just grab the little thing, grab it and go. I have my thing set up where I can just go A-2, listen to it, repeat. I hit R for repeat until I get it down to where it doesn't have that shrill S.
Really? You can see it on your
Oh yeah,
waveform.
you can easily see it.
Okay.
Michelle,
Yeah,
do
that's
try the low pass filter on something
I'm going
like that.
to. I got that
Yeah.
written down because I would
You might be
save
able
me
to
a
do it all
lot
in
of
one fell swoop.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm
So
going to try it
there's
too,
the,
Trisha. We've got this is being recorded, so I can look at your
Okay.
settings
This is
later,
being
right?
recorded.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not at all satisfied with the length of time it takes me to do things. Because
No,
I
me
have a
neither.
list this long of stuff I want to do.
Me too.
And every single one of them takes weeks and weeks and weeks because of these little, I'm kind of a perfectionist myself. I figure my thing is I don't sound like a professional. The least I can do is deliver better quality, you know, like getting rid of the S's and having better tempo. And I give it all I can give it. And that's, you know, then I feel good about myself. So yes, anything I can do to lower that time, that investment of time, I can be more productive. And that's what I want to be.
Lisa. Okay, yeah, thank you, Michelle. And by the way, I apologize. Yesterday, I was not feeling.
Bill's raising his
Bill's
hand.
raising
You were
hand.
at my. She was at my house yesterday. I was
Let's
not.
go right
I
here.
did not feel good at all. I was really feeling bad. My medication ran out a week ago, and the doctor hasn't refilled it, and it was feeling bad. Anyway, so I apologize. I wanted to apologize to you. Off
me?
topic. To you, yeah.
No, but you just opened up the topic for me to brag on you, because yesterday was Phil and his wife's 55th
Yes.
wedding anniversary.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, y'all may not know this, but Phil only lives 4 miles from my house, so it takes 10 minutes to get there. We never see each other, but because we're so
Here.
busy. But I did get an invite to the anniversary party, and I went, and all of his children, his in-laws, his grandchildren, and his first great grandchild baby were there. And they had a beautiful chantilly cake, and everybody, it was very informal. Everybody threw it together, and you were very charming. And you sat me down next to your bride, because I think, you know, she does have Alzheimer's, and she does repeat a lot. And so the grandkids are all in a circle around her, entertaining her. And when I came, they're like, "Here, have a seat,"
Yeah.
Come, Michelle, come sit down. And so the first thing she said was, before I can talk to you, I have to apologize to you that I found out this morning that I have Alzheimer's, and I don't know how I got it, but it's not my fault. It was kind of sad.
It's true.
So we went out. The thing is, Phil, I don't know if you noticed, but we went outside on the back porch where it was quieter.
Yeah.
And she wanted to smoke a cigarette. And I started asking her about her career. What did you do? And she told me all about her. All of a sudden, she didn't have Alzheimer's anymore. She told about her teaching career and where she went to school and, her childhood. And she was completely lucid for a while there.
Oh, yeah,
So,
she
but
remembers those days, 30, 40, 50
Yeah,
years
she
ago.
just
But
didn't
yeah,
remember
thank
that she
you.
was married to you.
Well, she didn't know that this morning. Yesterday morning, she woke up and, "Who are you?" "Oh, we married." She didn't want to live in sin. She wanted us to get married. But I said, "It's okay, darling. We married." In fact, I found last night her marriage certificate for her to show her. Anyway, I'm off of that.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a wonderful experience.
you.
And I just have to say, it's so nice to actually meet some of these Librivoxers in person, or at least I wish we could have, a Southeastern conference, or there must be, the day is going to come when we actually all get together like other groups and have a conference, right?
In fact, I don't think, gee.
That might happen.
Yeah, we should presentations and
Yeah.
socials.
I love this though.
Have
because-
some fun,
wants
play
to
some
talk.
games.
What's that,
Yes,
Mary?
There is-
I love games.
Yeah,
Bill
but
There
wants to
have been
talk, by the
times,
way.
there
Wait a
have been
minute,
times a
wants to
couple
talk.
of Ontario readers, and actually some British readers at another time, have gotten together and recorded a one-act play in person,
Really?
together.
Sounds like so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you gotta, get the time and place together. You gotta
Yeah.
get the recording equipment worked out,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
Mhm.
that's a possibility for y'all in Baton Rouge.
Well, we only have-
because frankly, we all spend more time on Librivox than we do with almost anything else in
Just
the world,
about.
except
This
maybe
is-
church and
This
family.
is where I
so
spend my time.
it's like family. It should be more like family.
Well,
Can I
it's-
say Bill wants to say something? But
Mary?
Yeah, he's wanted to say something for a while.
Poor thing.
Okay, Bill, would you like
He's
to
a
Where's
very
Bill?
patient
Raise
man.
your
You
hand.
got to raise your hand, Bill.
He did.
did.
A long time ago.
Oh, that's not raising your hand. You got to do it with this. What is this reaction thing?
Oh
here?
yeah, you
Raise
got
my
this
hand.
little reaction thing. Raise your hand.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. Then it
Oh,
don't
You
matter.
can all
There
raise
you
your
go.
You can raise your hand and you can put like a thumbs up on there, and you can put a,
Let him
And do a
talk.
party thing like I did for your 50th
There
anniversary.
you go, raising your
party.
hand.
yeah, look at that. I'm gonna lower my hand now, and I'll leave
Now
it.
you gotta how do you undo it?
You
Oh,
you
God.
click on
Yeah,
the
you have-
same
Oh,
reaction.
lower
And
your
then you
hand.
lower
Bill
it.
still hasn't got to speak though, by the
Yeah.
way.
So, Bill, what did you want to say?
Bill's giving up.
He's asleep on his desk.
Okay.
Bill, what would you like to say?
Michelle's comment about her high-pitched S peaks.
Mhm.
That's one way that I can say it. That would hold throughout her recording. And it looks like, Michelle, you're saying that you go through one at a time,
As I
finding
run across them.
and then do the negative volume.
Mhm.
There are two things in Audacity that could handle that for the entire width of the selected area, like the whole file. It's the filter curve is one thing
Filter.
where you can select ranges which are amplified or lessened in volume, and then the graphic equalizer does an even more precise thing where you can say, I want all of my lower pitched source to be amplified, or if someone is speaking with a rumbling voice, you can reduce the volume of just that range of sound. So the filter curve and the graphic equalizer will stop you from sounding odd on particular things.
Can you show us? Can you bring up your screen?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was
I-
easy.
Okay. Tricia,
do it all the time, because I
Tricia,
have problems with S's also.
can you bring up your screen and let him walk you through it?
Okay, I've got those two disabled, so I'd have to enable them again.
Enabled who?
The
Filter
curve
curve and
and
equalization.
I use a filter curve for the
Oh.
P's, the
You've
P's
disabled
that
it.
aren't very smooth.
Yeah. Okay.
So you go to effect. Let's see I don't know what this curve thing you're talking about is.
So filter curve.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, I've seen that. Now what?
That's a
You have to
straight,
change the
flat,
settings,
green
though.
line.
Then
But you can click on it and make a point where the curve will bend.
Yeah,
like
but so
that.
what? I mean, it doesn't
Oh,
make any
this is
sense.
All right.
frequency.
So
Okay.
if the right-hand edge of your curve were brought down to like a negative 24 decibels, that would mean that your S peaks would be reduced in volume, just as though you had gone to each and every one and done
Yeah.
a volume change.
Damn, that's good.
No,
so this would,
no, doesn't make any sense.
lower the bass in the, maybe even mains hum, and then also lower the high S sounds, maybe. The way I have the curve now.
I've been trying for my entire time with Librivox to use these two things to make my voice sound like Mark Smith or John Green. I haven't found it yet.
And then the other one was the equalizer.
That
Where's that?
filter curve. That is cool. I never
I?
Filter curve.
I've never used that. Never even saw it. Now you're
Graphic
going into
equalizer.
now we're talking about
Okay.
plugins, folks. These are
Enable.
plugins. Okay. Equalizer,
Effect.
Graphic equalizer is the way it's named.
rapid.
I don't see it. on your-
Graphic.
Oh, graphic equalizer.
Graphic EQ.
She has
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
That should do it.
She has it
Should be
disabled. Okay.
Enable
Disabled.
that.
Now it's
And-
enabled.
Yeah, these are built in. They're not add-ons.
Oh, there it is, graphic EQ.
And when you
Yeah.
do that, it brings up a
Okay, so it's kind of the same thing, except instead of a line, it's got the sliders.
But what do those sliders mean? What does 20 mean? What does 25 mean?
20 kilohertz.
What are
20
these things
hertz.
across the top? mean?
Those are hertz. Hertz.
Frequency of your,
Does that mean that if you go there, it hurts your ears? I mean, what does that mean?
Okay, like
Wow.
63, 60 hertz is 60 waves per
Hertz.
second. Okay.
So what?
Okay, for example, if you've heard of mains hum, in the US, our electricity cycles at 60 hertz, 60 waves per second.
Yep.
So, when you hear a low through a recording or like through speakers, that's usually
It's
mains
about
hum.
an
That's
A
the sound
flat.
of the electricity. So to lower that, you would, bring down the stuff
60.
around 50, 60.
Okay. All right.
The
So
S
now one of
sounds,
these S's are more like a
S's that are
high.
really sharp would be way up, way in the higher frequencies because they're, higher pitch.
So you want to bring those down.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
you do.
I'm sorry. Wrong way. Yeah.
Filter curve. How about
Okay,
that?
so you
This
want,
is
but then you may have other S's that are high on purpose. There's only some of them that don't sound good.
Well, it depends. I mean, is it sharp or is it loud? I mean, the sharper it is, it's a different frequency. It's a different tone, a different pitch on the piano,
I would have to, when I run across one, I'll save it and next time.
I
I'll
think
show
that's
you.
a nomenclature problem.
You can also highlight and do analyze plot spectrum,
Yeah.
and it'll
I
show
use
you
that.
what that sound, these down here are the frequencies, the 50 hertz,
Yeah.
400, etc. I don't even know what sound I highlighted.
Okay, so
Well,
you
it
got
doesn't matter.
plot
It'll
spectrum.
tell you what the high. I use this to get rid of noise. And when you do it, you do. I'll bring up your plot spectrum again. You notice on the bottom it runs from 50 hertz up to about maybe 8,000.
7,000, right?
Okay,
Mhm.
I think the normal human voice is probably what, about 200 to about 5,000. But if you
Something
put,
like that.
if you put your cursor anywhere up here, it'll give you the frequency that is, and you say, "Oh, that's my problem. It's at 7760 hertz, 7300 hertz." It'll tell you exactly where that high point is.
And then what?
Now, okay, so then you can
You use the other tools to flatten it.
you can
Oh, you can't
flatten that.
flatten it right here.
No,
No.
but you can use now you know that the noise is at 100 hertz, and that's what you can do a I don't know what they call it, a notch filter, or
Yeah, that's another really cool tool. Let me try highlighting this. I'm trying to find a good spike on some frequency here.
make some.
Well, okay, let's just use this one. It says the peak is 586 hertz. You see that?
580, yeah.
When I move my cursor, you can't see it anymore because it changes. So okay, it says 586 hertz. So if I keep that,
Where?
I'll go.
I don't see
Huh?
580. I didn't see 586 anywhere.
Let me go back to it.
You have to know where to look.
Okay, down below the graphic, let me put my cursor back, on this, I'm at this spike right here.
I see where it says cursor
586, yes.
589, and then next to it,
589.
it says peak 586.
Okay.
So I don't have my
That's-
cursor right on the peak, but it's, that's where the peak is at 586.
Okay.
Okay, because I can move my cursor around. and
So
it still
now you
says-
know this, you have this information in hand. Now
Okay.
what?
So now I can go to Effect, Notch Filter. This filters out a focused frequency. So that was 586.
Yep.
And then the Q, I don't know, it says higher value reduces width. If it's a lower, it'll be, more of a,
Mhm, mhm.
and if it's a higher Q, it'll focus in on that frequency really high, really sharply. So if I hit OK, now I go back to plot spectrum. Where's 586 is
Is-
basically gone.
It's basically dropped out. Yeah.
It dropped out.
Oh, it was reduced by about 20 decibels. Yeah. And it just gets rid of that.
That's throughout the selected area of the file, right?
Yes, just
Just
the
the
selected.
selected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
So if Michelle
So you-
selected her whole file and.
You can select the whole file. If you had a mains hum, exactly at 60, you could select the
Mhm.
whole file, do a notch filter at 60, and it'd take out that mains hum for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh,
I
main,
love-
that's the British term for current, yeah.
Main,
Uh-huh.
yeah, well, current, yeah.
Electrical
Ironically,
main.
I used that a few days ago. I had a thing somehow in one of the parts of my recording, I picked up a mains hum at 50 hertz, and I just did a little notch filter, just got rid of it beautifully, didn't hurt anything else, doesn't affect anything. Okay. Well, anyway, that's some highly technical stuff, folks. Highly.
We have a new visitor.
We do.
Yeah, Larry.
Larry.
Hi, Larry.
We were just
Hi,
talking about
Larry.
how do you edit dramatic works where the recordings are uneven. Some people have other people have I mean, they're microphones. We have experience here. Tricia and Larry know this stuff. I just thought I'd bring you up to date, Larry. That's all.
Nice
Oh.
to finally meet you, Larry, after all these years.
Hi, Michelle.
Oh, pardon me. I have to go see. I'll be all right back. Talk amongst yourselves and grade each other's papers.
A question I'd like to ask is when you have to go back and re-record something because you've said it wrong or
No.
it never it
You never did
never
that,
sounds
Larry.
the same when you I mean I always try to do a bigger sentence rather than just the single word, but then when I listen to it it sounds very different than the original recording. Is there any way around that, or is that
Words,
just the way
words
it's done?
work.
Experiment
I
with where you
I
put
cut
your
little
microphone.
pieces.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I cut little pieces out, starting with letters that I recognize, like a K or a P or a D or a T, and then I cut in just the minimal into the sentence that I can to make the correction.
Right.
But if that means that I have to do the sentence again, or a part of the sentence again and then cut it in and paste it in.
Yeah, I
But
mean, when I'm actually recording, obviously, if I do something wrong, I just repeat it. So I can
yeah,
pick
but I
out the
mean,
one
I
that's
do that
wrong.
later too. I'll just do
It's
a
the
section.
bits that you miss, isn't it? And then when
Right.
somebody PLs it and you think, oh, right, gosh, and I've got to do that whole sentence again, and you put it in. It's not so bad in a dramatic reading because other voices are interjected. It's just when you've read a whole chapter and then
On
there's
my
a slight bit that just changes the I don't know if it's the tone or
on my
and you
current
can tell it's
solo,
been sorry.
yeah, on my current solo, I recorded 5 or 6 chapters, and then I found out I was reading somebody's name incorrectly. I was reading it
Right.
Lucia, and it was supposed to be Lucia.
Right.
I've done
So
that.
I've
That's
never
painful.
done that.
So I
Right,
went back
Michelle?
through and changed them all. Yeah, basically sometimes, it depends. Is your mic a little bit higher on your face? That gives a more bright sound. Is it a little lower? So it gives a more, little deeper tone,
Yeah.
experiment with your mic placement and
Okay.
And you can
Yeah.
listen
also,
and
you
try
can
to
also
imitate what's
experiment
around.
with bass
Yeah,
and
because I
treble.
always feel like my setup is my microphone's in the same place, but obviously it's not.
And,
Molly
Well, it
and
may
isn't.
be time of day, what you've just drank,
Yeah,
what
could
you've
be.
just
Yeah,
eaten.
yeah, your voice changes throughout the day.
yeah.
Throughout
But
the recording.
the things that I use the most, and I've had that recently where I had to I did a whole book with the wrong name. I had to go and replace everything. But that was very hard. But if you use bass, you can use bass and treble a lot. Adding treble or taking treble away changes things a lot.
Right.
And
Okay, I'll
also,
give that a try. Yeah.
yeah, bass and treble works great. And the other thing is, God bless America, I've lost my mind. I can't remember what it is. The one I use the most is effect. Bass and treble. You can change the tempo, of course, that's really good. But then there's also, just a minute, I use it all the time.
Shh, he's back.
All the time.
Yay.
Right. Y'all been
Is it
behaving
pitch,
yourselves?
Michelle?
No,
Just
Good,
a
Mary.
minute. I'm looking for one thing here.
BPD. Mary, what's happening with you? Anything exciting?
no.
Well,
This,
that's good. No floods, no hurricanes, no
no.
No
forest
breaking
fire,
of ankles.
Oh yeah,
no
that's what it
breaking
was.
ankle. Yeah, Trisha's our wounded
Bass,
one.
treble, and pitch. Those are the 3 things you can
Okay.
use to futz around.
Thank you.
Bass, treble, and pitch. That really helps a lot.
Show us
I'll
your
give
leg
them
again,
a go.
Trisha.
Thank you.
Show us your
I
leg again.
recorded a man's voice for several hours today, so I have no voice left.
Didn't need to check
I
Trisha's
did a
left
really good
leg.
voice.
Yeah, she just had her leg repaired.
Yeah, had surgery yesterday. Got a whole
Who
bunch of
did?
pins. Me
All right. Okay.
slipped
What?
on some ice last
Oh.
Friday.
Oh,
Yeah,
You've got
February
ice?
Slipped on
25th.
some ice? Isn't that cliche for Ontario? Slipping on ice?
It has been the worst winter for ice around here. Usually it's not this bad. So
So what
I'm so
happened?
sorry.
You slipped on some ice and hurt yourself really bad?
hurt my ankle very bad. Yeah. It was a
Oh,
very
that's
bad break.
shame.
Yeah.
Oh, a break.
it was
Oh,
oh
ouch.
yeah. They had to. What did they? I mean, that was just number.
A
I
couple
need to send you
plates and-
some of my comfrey salve, bone set. No, I'm serious. When my husband shattered his ankle, we put bone set on. I made my own set. Put that on there like every day, 3 times a day. And within 12 weeks, he's in his 60s. The doctor came back and said he healed like a 20-year-old man.
Wow.
Nice.
Had to be that.
It was that.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it. It's
comfrey.
It's a comfrey salve. Comfrey was used by Napoleon Bonaparte in his wars to heal bones. Give me your address. Send me your address, and I'll mail you a little thing of salve. Just rub it on every day.
Except it's all casted. I'm not sure how that would work.
It's casted. It'd be hard to rub it on. Well, you could stick it under.
But when the cast comes off.
Okay, anyway.
Sounds like something voodoo.
Ooh, yeah, could be voodoo.
Something voodoo?
Voodoo.
So back to
Herbs.
LibriVox.
Herbs
You
aren't
do so
voodoo.
well.
Boom, 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 boom.
I've got a new eye.
A
A
new
new
eye.
eye. Why do you
Yeah.
have a new eye?
Oh, they took that cataract out. Wednesday, I
Oh.
get this one done.
Nice.
Now I can
Oh.
read my LibriVox better.
Isn't it wonderful? The cataracts is, I mean, it's
And
amazing
you're
when they
already
take that
touching
sucker
it?
off,
Oh, my goodness.
you can see
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. That was the best
Mm.
surgery I ever had in my life. I mean, my
Yeah.
vision went from terrible to 2020. All of a
Yeah.
sudden I can
Mm.
see. Wow.
I can't read any better, but or talk any better.
Well, listen, along we have people on here. I'm looking for volunteers who may be interested in a how I edit Zoom session. I mentioned it earlier. I think it'd be useful. Everybody is interested in that. Maybe it would be registered. People would have to register for it, and you would present 10 minutes, 15 minutes of maybe a track that you're editing and just walk through the steps that you normally do. And then Bill could do his and Larry could do his, how he edits, Michelle, whatever, and just show different people
Mm.
different how you edit, because we all edit differently. We all use different tools, and it's
Mm.
going to be a surprise to people to say, oh, that's a tool I didn't know was existing. So I'm thinking of having a registered event set up, I don't know, a couple months from now, called
Registered meaning you invite people by their
meeting.
email?
No,
or-
people would say, I want to attend this event, and they'd have to send their first name and their email address, so that we get an email saying, okay, the event's coming, the webinar is coming up tomorrow,
They send it to you via PM, basically, so.
I
unless
don't
they
know.
wanna
No,
share
it
their
would
email
come
with
through Zoom.
everybody.
It has to be done through Zoom. Just simply to
Oh,
say,
I see.
this is and of course it would be recorded, but is how I edit. If nobody's interested, that's cool.
I'm real interested.
Would you be willing to volunteer to give us? Now you can't go on for 45 minutes.
I like to hear, I like to show what I do, but I'd also like to see what other people do. 'cause
Yeah, that's what I
everybody's
mean.
A little
This is-
different.
Show how Bill does it, or Michelle does it, or Lee, whatever.
I don't
TJ,
think
how
people are going to want to
TJ?
know how I do it.
We don't want to know.
It takes too long. I do too much manually. I tried to do different things like with equalization. I used equalization. I use the filter curve, but I use the filter curve manually. I go to the spots because when I try to do across the board with the filter curve, it changes my voice too much. And I also, I tried the, what was it, compression and
Mhm.
the normalization and a bunch of other stuff. It changes it too much. I always go back to, and even the punch and roll that Devora was teaching us. I tried that a while too, but it doesn't let me do enough corrections. It means that I have to do the second try has to be, it erases the first try, so I can't connect pieces of my sentences like I usually do. So I end up
Man,
listening to the whole file again and cutting and pasting
Wow.
and picking the better ones. Sometimes the first take, sometimes it's the second tape, sometimes it's a combination.
Better
That's a
not to
lot.
make any mistakes to begin with, right?
that's a lot of.
That'll never happen.
Well, but it's
I've been
So we all
telling
listen.
myself that for years. It works.
That's just never gonna happen.
Larry, when you tell yourself, you have to listen to yourself as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you have to listen to. That's right, Larry. We can't just say, don't make any
That's
more
it.
mistakes.
That's it. That's it. Now, are you
Well,
talking,
guys,
Phil, about just
Afternoon time.
editing your file or
Yeah.
those
Um,
post-production types of things?
It's like I'm thinking I would like to watch other people, the techniques and the normal editing technique. And I'm thinking of it doesn't necessarily have to be this, just simply saying, okay, here's the track that I recorded. Okay. And I normally start by noise reduction. I check out my noise. This is how I do that. And then the
Mhm.
next,
Yeah.
I like, for example, I always start at the beginning and work my way through slowly. And when I'm finished with that section, it's finished. I no going back on it. It's perfect.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I never move forward unless I have to stop and be sure that re-record or whatever. Once I move forward, but that's just my method. And people may say, well, that's silly. But once I'm through with the track, I'm through with the track. So just simply say, maybe this is how I cut stuff. This is how I re-record a word. 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Maybe even if each person only did like 5 minutes, they could probably get enough of their errors in there to demonstrate.
And then move on to the next person and say,
Right,
well,
and
okay,
then if
this is how Larry does it. And then you would be on there and you would simply say, okay, here's the track I recorded. My first step is, I do a dance or I sing a song, the Happy
Say a
Librivox
prayer.
song. Happy. And just somebody let people see how we do things. Just this talk has, man, God, there's so much stuff I don't know about it. So that's my concept. What do y'all think?
It'd be great to speed
like
up this
it.
process
Yeah.
and have it sound good, so we could be
I'd
more
like to learn
productive.
some-
That's what
Yeah, I'd like
Oh,
to learn
Michelle,
some
are you
tricks.
in? I mean, Larry, are
I'm
you
in.
in? Anybody
I'm
want?
in.
Now,
Sure,
it-
Larry's in.
It
I'm in.
would require
Sure.
very
Oh,
little.
you mean to show? You mean to show? I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in to learn.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, then just a show.
No, I
mean,
could do. I could do a little section. I have a couple of tricks that could help people, like the filter
that's
curve.
good. Special
Let's
tricks.
all vote Tricia
like it.
G in.
Oh yeah, she's
Tricia-
got to go.
Oh, she had to go. She
Tricia, are
said
you
that
still
she would
there?
have to leave.
Oh.
Because
So she
my
can't
gosh,
defend
it's
herself.
almost an hour already.
Yeah.
I'll make the announcement. I'll ask for. I don't know where to
she's
ask for
back.
There
volunteers.
she is.
Had a
And
right.
you wanted to develop a sort of, you were talking about a registration program that, I mean, I get invited to webinars all the time and I have, but via email from my bank and my investment, different people. And they say, and, local Kiwanis groups, whatever. And it's in an email and you click register now. And you click it and you say yes. And then it says, we'll send you a reminder email like that the morning of the thing, it sends you an email reminder and you're in. It doesn't cost anything. And if you don't show up, they won't come after you. But it's nice to get a reminder. So I think that's what you're trying to set up, right?
Yeah, but I am going to be using that method. I don't know how to reach people. Like I said, I think maybe 20% of Librivox knows that we have these Zoom sessions.
That much?
But this thing I'm trying to do is this how I edit webinar. Want to watch how
Like a
Tricia
webinar.
edits, and she could do 10 and 15 minutes of how she edits, and Bill could do him, and then after an hour we could watch people.
Bill's
doing-
shaking his head.
What, Bill?
I'm
Well-
so bad. I do all the bad things. Michelle has been caught doing a lot of my PLing and it's bad. I wouldn't.
No, I enjoy listening to you, Bill.
Mhm.
Well, no, you don't have to.
Then you
Yeah, you
PL
did a
him.
great job for me, Michelle.
But you have to
That-
know how
the
to
other
share
Michelle.
screen.
That
Oh, the
Michelle,
other Michelle, right.
Oh,
you did a great job for me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
but you have to know how to share screen, Bill.
I didn't hear you.
I know how to do it. I'm so fumble fingered these days.
Well, anyway,
Right,
that's
So many Michelles. My
that
God.
that's a beautiful
Yours
name,
was so good,
especially
you
with
see, Bill.
the one he say again, please.
Sorry, Bill said there's so many Michelles. I said it's because we're so good. That's what it is.
Definitely.
Now, what about proof listening? I thought we'd have more new people here, but I'd like to. Somebody asked to have a what do you call a webinar, a talk, a demonstration of proof listening. That we do it. They do it different
And there's
ways.
two aspects to proof listening.
As a
What
what
we
are
need
they?
to stress to newcomers is you're supposed to proof listen your own file before you send it in to be proof listened. Like we're proof listeners are the final step. They're not the initial proof listening step.
Thank you, Michelle.
I mean, it's just easy to, it just has to be said in the welcome letter, or it has to be said somewhere in the wiki that just makes it very obvious that they're responsible to spiff up their file. And like, okay, so it's real simple. you record, you go and you edit, and then you edit following along with the text. So you can see what you left out your own self or what you repeated. And then it's ready to go.
You sound
But
bitter,
I think
Michelle.
most people leave out the last step of proof listening.
Sound like
your
some
own
bad
file.
experiences there for you.
Well, I mean, it's just there's so many readers that come on, they haven't been told what to do. You know, they haven't gotten enough guidance, I think.
Well,
Or they
I
haven't
have
paid
come across,
attention.
sorry.
say again.
Huh? It's just a question of giving enough guidance at the beginning. Not like really telling people what to do, but telling them this,
How to do.
this is the procedure that works.
I think that's true, Michelle. I remember when I began, I had no idea what editing was. Tricia helped me a lot.
Yeah, we all learned, and we should pass this on. Well,
I mean,
okay.
it's really sad because new people come in and say, well, I recorded it like 9 times, but I just kept making mistakes. I'm like, well, wait,
Did that?
you're supposed to be able to edit. There's nobody can record without making mistakes. But some
Well, and
people
the thing is,
think that that's what you're supposed to do.
but the thing is, they make mistakes, but then they don't always correct them.
Yeah, it's
That's-
just
Yeah,
it needs to
that's
be a simple paragraph somewhere. This is how you record, edit, proof listen.
Well,
Might be good to have something like that in the template with a link to
They
say,
do.
Yeah,
here's the
and-
newbie
and-
guide to editing.
Exactly.
well, don't we have that?
So
I would, I mean, believe me, this help all over, folks. It's posted in the, I would think it's everywhere, telling people. I mean, if you read the first post, it kind of walks people through what to do too, I think maybe it doesn't.
there's
It
nothing
could
on
say a little
editing,
more.
but there's
Nothing
still
on
stuff.
editing?
No,
But that would be a good place to put it, is in the first post. Please be sure you proof listen your file before you send it in.
And then
I mean,
if we
it's just a
can
few words.
convince people to actually read the first post, that'd be nice too.
that would be good
That would be
too.
good.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
problem.
no. I want to record. Let's
Yeah.
get that recording going. Look, skip all that fine print stuff. I've learned that people, me included, I skip all that. It'll work out. We'll figure it out down the road somewhere. And they don't read it. Oh well. God bless us all. We're having fun, ladies and gentlemen.
So listen, Tricia, wait, one question. How do I get a copy of the welcome letter?
It should
would
be
like-
in,
I mean,
The
it is
top-
on there, but I would like to actually maybe sign up again and get the welcome letter in my email so I can see what people get. Can you send me one of those?
I can't, the only way I can think of doing it would be to sign up
Sign
for a
up.
new account, but I'm 99% sure that like in the top of the new here, introduce yourself forum.
Yeah, that letter is in there. It is in
Yeah.
there. But I want to test because so many newbies don't seem like they get the welcome letter. So I'm going to sign my husband up. That's what I want to do.
I
I'm
got
going to
the welcome
sign
letter.
him up.
Does he know this?
I just signed
And
up
then
like
volunteer.
a month and a half ago. I got or maybe it was a couple months ago, but I got the welcome letter with
You
all the
got it?
information.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's automated that, basically when she activates you, whichever admin does that, it, that triggers it to send the welcome email. So
Okay.
And it's
All right.
packed with info. Everybody
Well,
should get
Lisa,
it.
I
but-
might PM you and get you to send me, I'll give you my email address and get you to send me a copy of that welcome letter. Could you do that? Then I wouldn't have to sign my husband up.
That's right.
Although he agreed that I could do that.
It-
And he has a great reading voice too. So
I mean,
I've got
look
him
at that.
on
Look at-
my radar.
go look at that welcome letter. I mean, I made a video called something, welcome to Librivox, just a little introduction. And in there, I bring up the letter and I walk through it. It has got so much information in it. It's scary. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, it is a little.
Michelle, why don't you chat me your email address? I have the welcome letter up right now. I could just email it. I could just forward it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I
can
can
put it in
send
chat.
to you. How do I do that?
Just click the chat button and type in your email address. Oh, you can send it. Well, either you send it to everybody or you could just pick me to send it to.
Look, anybody in the world can have my email address. I don't care.
Oh, because you can change to everyone to, yeah.
It's there. I see it.
Oh, I can go everyone, or I could just go to one person.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Too late.
I don't care. I'm Ms. Fry. I've been Ms. Fry since I was 28 years old. Ms. Fry, can I have a glass of water?
And
Okay,
then
I just forwarded that to you, Michelle.
okay, that was
forwarded it.
quick. Thank you, Lisa.
To my real email. Thank you. Thank you very
And
much.
TJ, we're going to have
Oh,
a
sweet.
special session to help you become less perfectionistic.
I need that. I need
we're
that
gonna work on
back.
that.
No.
Okay. Or maybe to make you more perfectionistic.
Maybe more professional, less time
There you are.
consuming.
Yeah.
I'm going to try, Trisha, what you put up there. I'm going to give that a try and for the S's and see what happens.
Well, the amazing thing
Librivox
is
benefits by the more efficient that we are.
we
I've
this is
gotten so.
I'm
I was
sorry.
going to say I've gotten so much
I'm
more
interrupting
efficient than I
people.
was at the beginning.
Who was talking?
Oh, that was me talking over you.
Oh, hello. I was
No,
talking over you. No, I was talking over you. I wanted to say
I think we're on a different time zone here. Go ahead.
This is still amazes me that people from all over the world can do this. This is very technical stuff that we do and turn out what
It is pretty technical.
100 and something projects every month.
Wow.
Somehow they get it through the meat grinder and they come out the other end and they're well packaged and they have beautiful cover art. It's amazing how this thing works.
And every year more and more stuff comes online. Oh my goodness.
I wish more things in my life worked as well as Librivox works. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. You know, anyway, I want to thank you all for being here. This is recorded. I'm going to put up the recording maybe tomorrow, and we're going to do this again tonight. Yes.
So is the chat stuff going to go in the recording?
The chat.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
No.
I think the
Doesn't
chat
It'd be nice to know.
gets stripped off.
Oh, look, link to declicker. Whoa, I better copy and
Now what you
paste
do is
that stuff.
you right
Hold on a
click and
minute.
copy it. Okay. And
Hold on just a minute.
Another
no.
thing you can
Copy
do
that,
too is
yeah.
click the chat button, and then at the bottom, when you pull it up, there's like 3 little dots at the bottom. Click that, and then you can save the chat. That's
yes.
another thing you can do too.
Thank you very much.
Hold on a second. I don't want everybody in the whole world to know about it. Thank you for these links.
Yeah, this is stripped off. Well,
I haven't
stripped
seen
off.
them
I only send
before.
out the audio, the MP4. All right, folks. Once
right.
again, it's been fun, and 11 o'clock to my time, we're going to do this again. And
11 o'clock tonight.
11 o'clock
Yep.
my night time. Okay,
You're going to be
Yeah.
whatever
almost.
time it is. Bye-bye,
All right.
everybody.
Good
God
to
bless
see
you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Lisa.
Phil. Thank you, everybody.
Nice.
Good seeing everybody.